find out about whether there have been any other ex partes. A July 1st motion that's kind of a proffer about something that happened with a jail call, evidence that's already been taken care of. And I mean, I'll look back into that. But
what is up, y'all?
July 18th, motion to disqualify two.
As y'all see, we are not doing the intro today, so let me go ahead and say welcome, y'all. Welcome back to another YouTube live stream and another episode of the Music Morning Show. I'm your host, ClassE Beats, and for the first time ever on the Music Morning Show, we are going to do an actual live reaction to some of the court proceedings that are going on in the YSL RICO trial. As a lot of y'all know, a new judge has been appointed to cover this trial, Paige Whitaker. All right, the Honorable Judge Paige Whitaker. Everybody's in the courtroom right now. We still got ADA Love, and ADA Hilton in there. Our guy, the Lawyer of the Year, Brian Steele's in the building. They all just introduced themselves. And we've got Mr. Weinstein in there as well, representing Yak Gotti. All right, so I'm going to turn this up, and we're going to get right into it because they're getting ready to go right now. What's happening now is Judge Whitaker is reviewing the motions, so I'm going to go ahead and let it play.
I could file it.
Okay.
I'll do whatever.
Appreciate y'all being here too. Make sure you like the video.
So I just want to bring to the court's attention to be, fair to the court. May I approach, Your Honor?
And let me know if the sound is good, y'all, too.
And it may be easiest to just hand it to Ms. Pursfield. And y'all,
let's see if I can get y'all another view.
Now, before we all leave here today, I want to make sure that my staff has cell numbers for everybody. Okay. All right.
So I've handed this honorable court's co-worker and the state two cases, PROPST versus Morgan, MORGAN, and it's 288 Georgia, 862, 708 Southeast 2D, 211. And if you look at page 2 of the copy of the case that I've handed to this honorable court and the state, on the left-hand side, on the bottom last paragraph.
Sound is good? Okay, thank you.
Our highest court explained that another line of appellate decisions holds that if a party files a motion to recuse a trial judge and the motion is denied, but it is later determined that the judge should have been disqualified to act in the case, all proceedings after the filing of the motion to recuse are invalid and have no effect. And the reason I raise that is, Your Honor may be aware but may not be, the Honorable Douglas Weinstein filed an initial motion to recuse Judge Glanville. He did that on June 12th of 2024 in the afternoon hours.
Good morning, everybody.
Judge Glanville initially denied, he stopped proceedings and he denied that motion without referring it to another judge, and he made some findings of why he's denying it. On behalf of Mr. Williams, the Honorable, yes.
Was there a written order?
Shout out to Lauren.
File a written order. June the 14th.
Okay.
2 days later.
All right.
And that was the Honorable Douglas Weinstein.
Okay.
The Honorable Keith Adams and I, on behalf of Mr. Williams, then filed a motion to recuse, but we didn't file ours until June 17th. It's Monday, June 17th.
Okay.
But the way I understand the case law is that once Attorney Weinstein filed that motion, which the Honorable Judge Krause eventually granted. Judge Krause in a written order dated, I'm going to tell you, July 15, 2024, granted Mr. Williams as well as Mr. Kendrick. Mr. Weinstein represents Mr. Kendrick.
DeMonte Kendrick. That's Yak Gotti.
So the way I understand the case law is everything that happened after the filing by Mr. Weinstein on June 12, 2024 is invalid.
Okay. So if you would do me a favor and put that in writing and file it as a motion, and then I will add that to our pending list.
Yes.
And I don't want to, I appreciate you letting me know. I don't want to get into substantive argument about anything today because we don't have the parties themselves here. This is basically just a sort of status. So if you will file something to that effect, then I'll have that added to the list, but I appreciate that.
I'll file it today. Can I add
Yeah,
one other thing just for
I
you to
like Paige
acknowledge,
Whitaker
Rich?
already. She's getting into it.
Something that's more than a status.
We'll
then
see what happens though.
I will withdraw it.
Yeah, and I mean, you can tell me, but I'm, not going to consider it. We're not going to argue it. But yes, absolutely. Go ahead.
Understood. I just want you to know that there was a witness testifying. That's why I thought it's important, which will potentially, if you determine it, require the jury to have their notes, if you require it taken away, and then wiping out what they heard. I just want you to be aware of that.
No
Okay, I'm
comfort
not sure
breaks.
if I follow what you're saying now.
So there was a witness testifying. His name's Mr. Copeland.
Yeah.
After Judge Glanville denied
Oh, they're
that
talking about
motion,
Lil Woody.
the
Okay.
jury heard from a witness on the afternoon of June 12th, June 13th, June 14th, and then June 17th. So I just want you
Okay.
to be aware.
All right, I understand what you're saying now. All right, thank you.
Other than that, those are
This is live, yeah.
Great. Okay.
What's up, Javi?
For Mr. Huey, I have got a renewed motion for bond. Is there anything else for, I don't even know which party I'm looking at yet, but, okay.
In your report, Mr. Quick is Huey. That is the only motion that I've
Okay.
at this point.
All right. How?
So it
Yes,
sounds like
thank you.
they're trying to
Okay,
get some
so,
bond here.
For Mr. Stillwell?
So, Your Honor, the way that we had been operating under this case, under the Honorable Judge Glanville was something. Yes, sir. Your Honor, the way that we had been operating under Judge Glanville was there was a thing we named the Harvey Rule, which assumed that all were in agreement in opting into a motion unless we specifically opted out of the
Okay.
motion. So
So everybody is joined on everything?
Steele has filed a number of motions that we opt into.
Okay.
And Your Honor, I'll also just point out, there's also the gentleman who's on the stand right now. I think that we need to have a hearing regarding the admissibility of his testimony. I'm not looking at Mr. Steele's motion, but
Oh,
I
wow.
do believe that we need to look at the co-conspirator exception to the hearsay rule and determine if that applies to the gentleman who is currently on the stand and
Okay.
what he said.
Okay.
And additionally, after
He's
Mr.
trying to get his-
Weinstein's
get his
recusal
guy out of
motion,
there.
we spent a significant amount of time
It's awesome.
going back and forth about prior statements and redacting prior statements. And I believe that
Prior statements of Mr.
Mr. Copeland.
Copeland? Okay.
we would have to go through that process again because that was done after the Mr. Weinstein's recusal motion. So we probably need to relitigate that as well. Of course, if it doesn't fall under a hearsay exception, then we wouldn't have to do that. But
Okay.
Yep, she's definitely picking up where she left off. And they were-
And with regard to
I'll get into it in a
the
second, yeah.
question of the admissibility of Copeland's statements under the co-conspirator rule, is there a pending motion or was there an oral motion? Has there been a ruling?
It's nothing yet.
there was a ruling.
Okay.
I don't recall if it's been reduced to writing. I'm going to assume it was. But you know, we've litigated a recusal motion. We've talked about the appearance of impropriety at this point, and from our stance, we need to relitigate
Well, we got some buffering here. We might have to rewind this back a little bit.
With regard to the question of the admissibility of Copeland's statements under the co-conspirator rule, is there a pending motion or was there an oral motion? Has there been a ruling?
Miss Love is going to be on her best behavior today.
There was a ruling.
Got a new court reporter too?
I don't recall if it's been reduced to writing. I'm going to assume it was. But you know, we've litigated a recusal motion. We've talked about the appearance of impropriety at this point, and from our stance, we need to relitigate it to substance, but just to educate.
But is that what you're saying should be reconsidered? Okay. All right.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. I am not going to go back. I mean, this case has been going on for how long?
2+
6 months,
years.
at least the trial part of it. And obviously I'm parachuting in and I'm just going to have to pick up from here and move forward. I cannot go back and reconsider every evidentiary ruling that's already been made. And I don't think that's what you're asking. I think you're saying because this witness is still on the stand.
Okay, so now this is interesting because we talked about this a couple of days ago. We were wondering how far she was going to unwind everything and how far she's going to go back. It's looking like she may only be going back to June 10th. So that's something that we have to look into as well and see how much of this evidence she's going to have to look into. Because she's saying right now, hey, listen, I get that y'all have issues with all the other stuff that took place, but we're only starting from this point. So we'll have to see what she says moving forward.
I don't know, Mr. Botts, if you were about to say, let's
50, 11 months.
everything, but we're not going to be able to do that.
Yeah, she said, I ain't doing that.
On Mr. Copeland. Okay. All right. All right.
I ain't doing that. I don't blame her.
And let's see, for Mr. Ryan, and I understand everybody's basically joined in on everything we've already talked about. Is there anything that's individual or in particular to your client that I need to think about?
Yes, Your Honor. And hopefully the state will correct me if I don't have it correctly. But some of what specific evidence the state plans on using witness has been specified somewhat on a rolling basis.
Okay.
I'm going to give an example. In Mr. Ryan's case, there are 15 recorded interviews.
Mm-hmm.
The state is not necessarily going to offer all 15. Within the ones they might want to offer, there are parts which are inadmissible. Everyone would agree they're inadmissible, but the state has not had a chance to sit down and specifically say, we want these statements, and here's what needs to be redacted, and go back and forth on that. So we've not crossed that bridge yet for Mr. Ryan. When we do, you'll have motions of that nature.
Okay, so I'm going to try, and we can maybe get to that in a minute, but I would rather everything that should have been a motion in limine get sorted out. I don't care if we're 2 months from that testimony. But
that's absolutely fine, Judge.
Yeah.
Describe it on a rolling basis.
Yeah, well, to the extent we can stop that.
That is interesting that Mr. Brown isn't
try
there.
to get everything done.
And if y'all want to know what the Harvey rule was that Max Sharp mentioned, the Harvey rule, as Judge Glanville named it, came about from attorney Bruce Harvey, who wanted to make sure his client was joined with another defendant's motion, objections, etc. Glanville didn't want to have all 6 attorneys file separate motions to argue the same thing. Okay. And then it also says, he explained to Judge the Harvey rule, for anyone who doesn't know, is basically that any motion file applies to everyone unless they specifically opt out. All right. Sharp also said there would be a hearing to deal with Lil Woody's testimony. And we heard that too, interrogations and videos. And that's from Joseph Papp, and then also from Kathy Rustin over on X. So shout out to them.
Beforehand, but we'll see. We'll see. All right. Thank you. And then who else have I still not heard from? Mr. I will, y'all, in a couple of weeks, I'll know all of this, but I just honestly have not been following this case up until now. So, Mr. Harvey.
Oh, wow.
Mr.
She said she hasn't been following the case at all. Y'all believe that? Judge Whitaker says she hasn't been following the case at all. I don't know about that one. All right, Judge Whitaker, whatever you say.
And I may need you to yell.
She said, what? Huh?
I'm sorry. Better?
Yes.
Per the
What
rule
you mean?
we've been operating under, we're all in on everyone else's motions,
That's crazy.
barring a on-the-record opt-out.
Okay.
So we're in on everything because we have not opted out as of this point on any of those motions.
Okay.
There may be, to be honest with the court, I wanted to see where we were today.
Yeah, there you go,
what
Lauren.
our plan was.
She's not fooling anybody.
There may be some additional motions that would be filed on behalf of Mr. Nichols, and perhaps other defendants. If we're going to view this as sort of a logistical status conference, based upon prior proceedings, we've mentioned certain things. We've mentioned certain cases about what may or may not be valid or evidence post motion to recuse. There may be some additional motions that need to be filed. So I would ask that on behalf of Mr. Nichols, that not only we're opting in, and we need to now think about whether or not there's going to be any specific opt-out, but to give us some time frame to file any additional motions based upon the unusual proceedings and circumstances in this case moving forward.
All right. So
And all Mr. Harvey is doing, he's just asking to know how long they're going to have to file some additional motions. That's pretty much it.
I'm not going to be able to give you a blanket, hey, you get X amount of days to file whatever you want here, because I don't know what it is that you might be contemplating. And frankly, there have been, at least a week and a half that's gone by since whatever the ex parte was that caused all of this.
It's June
It
10th.
may be that it's
We won't forget it.
appropriate for another motion to be filed and be considered. It may not be. I'll kind of have to wait and see sort of what it is and why it is only now that it is going to be filed. So I just can't give you an answer on that before I know what it is.
I'm going to go grab some
But,
water,
I
y'all.
mean,
Give me
I'm
1 second.
Certainly not precluding anybody from filing. I just don't know if it's, if it's something that could have been filed
let me do it
10
this way.
months ago, then
Well-
I probably don't want to hear it now.
No, I think these circumstances are unique, clearly. So it presents unique opportunities to now move the court now that we have a court. I just
Okay,
don't want
so why don't I just say that if you are contemplating anything, contemplate it quickly and get it filed
5 business days.
before the end of next week, because, and I want us to all look at a calendar in a few minutes, but, the jury has already been given the week of July 29th off, so they won't be back before August 5th, really. So I would like for us to, if we're going to be moving forward with this case, to be able to move forward with it and have all of whatever this is going to be out of the way before then. So if you can honestly, because I would also like a response from the state on anything that gets filed. So if y'all can, given that you've had already, a week and a half since whatever went down. I don't know the exact dates of everything yet, but you don't really need 5 more days to think about it.
All right.
I'd like y'all
So
to
she's
get
giving them a
anything
a
that you're gonna
deadline of-
filed by the 23rd, which
The
is next
23rd.
Tuesday. That may make for busy weekends for y'all, but
So they have 2
that
business
is
days.
what it is.
2.5
And then I
business
want
days.
responses from the state by that Friday, the 26th. Okay? Which does not mean I'm inviting them. It
I'm gonna
just
put-
means if there are some necessary ones.
I'm going to put a poll in the chat. Y'all let me know if you think Judge Whitaker has been following the case or not.
that we
I'm
need
calling
to
cap on
consider.
that.
Obviously, I want them briefed by both sides. And then we'll probably spend the week of the 29th we'll all be here without the jury trying to get as much done as possible, I think. Okay?
And that may answer my next question. I know that on behalf of myself, and I know various other co-counsel, I mean, as soon as the words "we're in recess" were uttered, I have emails, specialists at trials. I mean, I am inundated by other
He's manhandling that
federal
microphone.
judges and superior court judges.
Relax, Mr. Harvey.
I am asking for protection, and I would assume that co-counsel would join in this protection so that I can say to these other judges, I am on trial, I'm required to be participating in this court, and you cannot set me for trial in another court because I'm on trial. Can we get that protection from the court?
Yes, you shouldn't even need that because we are in the middle of a trial. I don't care whether the judge has changed or not. This trial is ongoing. But yes, to the extent that any judge calls at my chambers, yes, I will tell them, sorry, you can't have Mr. Harvey right now. I've got him.
I want to.
Yeah, it's funny that y'all are saying this in the chat too. Boss is back in here, says, of course she has followed this shit show. Yeah, that's like you're saying, oh, I was in a room of the house and I heard a glass break. You know, okay, that's fine. You heard the glass break, but you're going to tell me you didn't go out there, you didn't look, you didn't see what was happening, you didn't ask somebody, you didn't yell down the hall, hey, is everything okay? Y'all good over there? What's going on? I mean, hey, come on, Judge Whitaker, the Honorable Paige Whitaker. We know something's going on in your house. You're going to know what's going on. Stop it.
Make those representations in conflict letters. I want to make sure that I'm doing that properly.
Yeah. Now, if there is, because I have been until recently one of the people trying to get a hold of all of y'all for other cases. So if we decide we're taking a 2-week vacation in August, which we won't be, but you know, hypothetically speaking,
don't do that to me,
y'all
Judge
aren't
Whitaker.
in here with me litigating something, then I'm probably going to say you're available, not for a trial, but for, you know, a one-day hearing or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't mind the one-day hearing. I do mind going to trial when I'm on trial.
Yes.
So with that,
y'all are all protected from being expected to be in trial anywhere else until the completion, however it completes, of this trial.
Thank you.
All right.
Your Honor, Doug Weinstein for Mr. Kendrick. We have no pending motions other than what has already been stated by our defendant's counsel that we all join in. We will be filing motions before Tuesday, but we have no pending motions. And you said we are going to discuss calendar moving forward? Yes.
Okay,
I have some comments with regard to that.
Okay. All right. All right.
So Mr. Weinstein said he's going to get everything in there.
Pending motions by the state that need a ruling.
Thank you, Your Honor. There are, and we will have to the court before Tuesday.
Here we go. Ms. Love's in the building.
The court has made a deadline. There are responses to recent filings by some of the defendants that the state anticipates it will be making. And there are 2 anticipated motions in limine that we will have filed by Tuesday.
Okay.
Based on the court's earlier instruction today, there were matters.
And there's been a couple of motions filed today too. We'll go over those later.
We will have to the court by Tuesday as well. There are, and we will identify all of the ones that we believe exist. There are outstanding, there are rulings that have been made long ago by the court that may not have been reduced to writing. We are working towards identifying each of those, as well as putting into a chart for the court a list of the motions and rulings that have previously been entered.
That would be fantastic, because while y'all all know what the rulings were, I do not. So yeah, a chart and some further information would be great. That was on my list as well. Thank you.
Of course. And we also intend to...
That attitude is gone. Y'all hear that? We saw Brian Steele. He was up there smiling. He said, "Good morning, Judge. So good to see you." Miss Love, she's up. Oh, this is going to be fun.
We can
gonna
do
be
that
fun.
in the context of a motion, or the court, if it is appropriate today, can address it. We would like to present to an exchange with counsel for each of the defendants what we believe and what we have kept a record of, all of the exhibits that have been tendered, ruled on, and admitted so far.
Okay.
If that is more appropriately addressed in a motion, I can do that, or if the court will permit us or schedule for us a deadline by which to exchange exhibit lists, because the state currently has an exhibit list that we believe is thorough.
Okay.
That includes the exhibits that have been tendered and admitted by both the state and each of the defendants.
Okay. And do you have that like with you and ready right now?
No, we want to present that to the court.
Okay.
We want to compare it with, if the defendants each have one, compare it with those. We want it to be as accurate as possible before we present it to the court.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically what Ms. Love is saying here is they want to go through everything that was said, everything that was done in the proceedings so far, and they just want to make sure that they're all on the same page, and they have all the oral rulings in writing.
So do y'all want to maybe, it sounds like outside of a proceeding, y'all all get together and do that? Or, I mean, if we want to all do it in court, that's fine, but it's not about...
She said y'all could do that on your own time, but whatever you want to do.
I would have preferred that the court just order that each of us present to the other the exhibit list that we have, to the extent that they do exist, and that we then endeavor to iron out any differences or discrepancies. So that, for example, by next Wednesday, we each give to each other what exhibit lists that we have, not anticipated exhibits, but the ones that have already been admitted and ruled upon, because there have been moments where exhibits have been shown to a witness or spoken on, and the tendering party represented that the exhibit had already been admitted, and upon
verbal
closer
rulings. Thank you.
inspection, the exhibit had not been admitted.
Okay.
So we are asking for a date from the court.
Okay, so when can you have yours ready to dole out to everybody?
Wednesday.
We can have ours ready by Tuesday, if we can exchange them by Tuesday.
Okay. Is it, I assume everybody's been kind of tracking this. Could everybody have what you think is the state of the evidence by Tuesday?
I don't think that's going to be hard to do. It's okay.
I mean, frankly, whatever the court reporter has is what's accurate. So it might be that I can just get that list from the court reporter and give it out to all of y'all.
That makes sense.
And if there is that might be a better way to do it. And then if there is a discrepancy and anybody who believes that's inaccurate, we can take it up. So why don't I talk to and we're going to be
Ooh, look at Judge Whitaker. I like this already. She said, "No, ADA love, don't worry about it. I got it. I don't want you handling this anymore. I'm going to get with the court reporter and she's going to take care of it. And then y'all both can look at it. And then we'll go back and forth about that." Ooh, I like this. I like
y'all
this.
all know Ms. Parker, but Ms. Parker is retiring in 1 week. I will have a new court reporter, and I know, the end of an era, but
I like how she's
court
working.
Reporter, Ms. Winfrey, who probably a lot of y'all know anyway, and she'll be moving forward. I'm going to ask Judge Glanville's court reporter to start working on transcripts, because I'm going to need them, but we'll all need them at some point probably, because just transcribing what's happened so far is going to take months and months. So we're going to shift not only judges, but also court reporters. So I will get with Judge Glanville's court reporter and ask her to give me a list of what has been tendered and either excluded or admitted or is still hanging out there. Give that to all of y'all, probably just through email from Ms. Rosser. And then if there is any discrepancies, y'all can let me know that, okay?
That would be great. Does the court, and I understand that there's really no way to tell accurately, but does the court have any idea
What's up,
when
Tesla?
We could anticipate receiving something
I think pretty quickly. I mean, I've had a couple of communications with her already, and she seems pretty on the ball, and she's tracking it all on an Excel spreadsheet or something. So I don't think it'll take long. I think I can get y'all that by next week sometime.
Thank you.
Okay. Let me write my to-do list. Okay. All right, what else?
Your Honor, I'm reviewing all of the notes from representations made by counsels for each of the defendants, and based on my review of those notes, I don't believe that there are other matters that we need to address at this time that are properly addressed without the defendants here.
All right. And do you have an idea of when you can get me the list of the rulings so far?
Yes, Your Honor,
and I know that's a bear of a task, so
that's okay.
Don't want to be unreasonable about it.
Just 1 second, because we have already begun that process.
Great.
And let me, if the court will permit me to confer with our team members who are working on that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Get it together. This is interesting. It seems like Judge Whitaker so far is being pretty fair, pretty straight down the middle. Let me fast forward this a little bit. It's a nice thing of being on a little bit of a delay.
Mr. Williams today. Actually in on this case, or are you just standing in for Mr. Williams today?
I'm actually in on the case. I did file an entry.
Okay, thanks.
Lauren says she's over this case already. She said, let's keep it moving.
At least by next Friday.
All right, let's fast forward a little bit.
I know that we can have that list before next Friday, or at least by next Friday.
That'll be great.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I guarantee y'all that list will be ready before 5 p.m. and not like 5:42 when they send in their response.
With regard to the most immediate scheduling, the kind of getting through, hearing argument on, getting rulings on the things we all just talked about that are pending. Is everybody available and I guess I've already got y'all, unless Judge Glanville had excused you, I think I've got y'all, but is everybody available? And I'm not saying we're gonna be here 8 to 5 every day, the week of the 29th, but is the week of the 29th, everybody's available to the extent we need all of those days?
The state is available.
Okay. Anybody not? Okay, perfect. Because I'm thinking that at least most of that week, that's what we're gonna be doing. Which means I am not going to be going to the judges' summer conference, but that's okay. That's okay.
Not a conference. Y'all know what happens at those conferences.
All right. With regard to kind of further in the future, just when we're going to be having trial, I think it's maybe been like 4.5 days a week or something. I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter what it has been. Here's what I'm thinking. I am thinking that when we are in trial, we start at 8:45 and go to about 6, at least until the time changes and it gets dark early. And I'll have to obviously make sure that all the jurors can do that. I don't know what their, pick up kids schedule is or anything like that. But I want to make the most of our time, like I said, while we're here and have them. So that's kind of going to be my plan going forward. And it may be that we want to go.
She is not playing.
All 5 days. It may be that we want to, break at lunchtime on Fridays. And if we have other business to do, we stay for the afternoon. And we may not start August 5th with the jury. We may have so much left to do still that we give them another week. But once we do start back with the jury, I'm thinking 8:45 to 6. And when I say 8:45, I mean 8:45. I intend to take the bench at 8:45. I expect I know that the parties, the defendants
Get 'em,
will
Judge
be here
Whitaker.
because the sheriff's office will have them here. I want all the attorneys to be here as well. And if you have 5 attorneys on your side, as long as one of them's here, we're going forward. Okay? So I don't want to be waiting around till 9:30 to get started. 8:45. All right, so that's that. So a couple of things have been brought to my attention that some people might like changed.
She is not playing.
Have a fresh face.
I love it.
And y'all, some of these are really kind of insignificant, but I'm gonna go ahead while we've got some time and bring them up. Food in court.
Just talk about.
Everybody can have water whenever they want to. The attorneys can have, whatever drink they want to, as long as you're not klutzy like me and don't spill it all over everything. I guess if you do, that'll be your problem.
I like it.
If we are working through lunch and the jury's out and we're working and y'all are here and the clients are here, that's okay. But snacking while trial's going on, we're not going to be doing that, okay? So if we are working through lunch, if we are working late and it's dinner time, it will be okay to the attorneys or the defendants have food. Not while somebody's on the stand testifying, okay? We're not at a movie. We're not going to be eating popcorn. All right. Hopefully that'll be all I have to say about that.
Get them right.
Apparently,
Get them right, Judge Whitaker.
One of the first things that I don't know how many different deputies told me was the clothing for the clients has gotten a little out of hand in terms of how much they all have now. I don't know.
Yeah, y'all remember they couldn't find little Woody clothes.
Y'all need to maybe get together
chambers.
and let's exchange most of that. And sure, they can have new outfits for court, but it sounds like they're like full wardrobes full of clothing for some of these defendants. And that's just a lot for the deputies to have to keep up with. So how about if y'all check in and maybe through Miss Rosser, y'all all know Miss Rosser, I think. She's not even here today. Yes, she is over there. Miss Rosser, my fabulous litigation manager. And let's make sure that it gets whittled down to a manageable amount of clothing,
Can we give Judge Whitaker a round of applause so far? So we're seeing a theme here. Y'all know, and a lot of, even in the Republican National Convention that just went on, there was a theme, right? What is the theme of this status update right now? The theme is get your together. That's the theme here. She is not playing. She's saying y'all need to get together on this. I'm gonna give you all this information. Y'all can get straight. When can you have this? This is where we're gonna meet. When I say 8:45, I mean 8:45. If you're late, I'm going to hold you in contempt. No, she didn't say that, but anyway, here we go.
There are
no
only
eating in court.
5 days in each week.
No more Oreos for Young Thug.
Even if they had a different outfit every day, that would only be 5 outfits, okay? We shouldn't have 20 different outfits for anybody. So y'all need to clear out, apparently, the closet. So now I've done that
She
for
said,
the deputies.
get your
They'll be more happy.
Together.
Okay, next topic. Minimizing disruptions in court. I don't exactly know what that means yet, but
Oh my gosh.
let's try to conduct court in a way that minimizes disruptions, and we'll just leave it at that for now.
Interesting.
There was
Were there a lot of disruptions in this trial? I haven't noticed that.
Apparently, and I'm not even sure if I understand exactly what has gone on with this, but the defendants listening through earpods to things on laptops while court is going on. And I'm not sure I understand why that's happening, and that raises some security issues with.
I may have showed y'all this clip, but I'm gonna have to find it. There's a point where Young Thug is listening to music in court, and he's got his headphones in, and it looks like he's listening to new music. He's sitting there rocking his head back and forth. She's taking some shots at Young Thug today. Let that man. He's an artist, man. Come on now.
Our security
She's
staff
been watching.
with the sheriff's office.
She's been watching.
So can somebody kind of explain to me what that's about and why that's necessary? And if nobody wants to, then we'll just do away with it.
I think it was originally combat boredom.
All right, well, we won't be bored from here on out. So then if that's the only reason for it, I want to be moving forward efficiently and
She is not
expeditiously.
playing
So
around.
let's just plan to not have that happen anymore. And if there arises some new reason for it, then we can address it again anew, okay?
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Fair. It is what it is.
Encouraging that, Mr. Huey. There are times where the defendant might need to listen to evidence, interviews, things of that nature. And I've made that available for my clients to listen to some of the interviews from witnesses, testimony, prior interviews, things of that nature. For evidentiary purposes, that would be a
Is
request.
Mr. Adams
for
in there
my
today
client
too? I
to
didn't see him.
Have that access where necessary.
So why is that happening in court? That seems like something that should happen after hours between the two of you.
Certainly understand that. Just maximizing the time that I have with my clients since I don't have availability with him.
Yeah, I think
outside
that's
of court
fair.
every day. So he's here, we're here. So a lot of times I'll give him an opportunity to review evidence.
That's right, Italo. That's a fact.
The only reason I want to ask.
I'm going to ask that you try to get that done outside of courtroom time. And if there is some sort of an emergency, unexpected reason why something can't have been reviewed before, then you can bring that to my attention. But okay. All right. I would like to find out from kind of everybody.
Uh-oh. This sounds like they're in the principal's
how many
office.
witnesses there are to go and what you expect those witnesses to say. And one reason I say that is because Judge
this is
Glanville
interesting.
had entered an order, which I may not have brought downstairs with me, but y'all, when I describe it, will probably be familiar with it, that essentially said, everybody, not really, but several parties have asked for mistrials, I think, because things are moving so slowly. And he entered an order that seemed to say, it appears that the state has 200 and something witnesses. We're on 50 something now.
That was cap.
Everybody's causing disruptions, or not causing, but there have been a lot of disruptions because a witness is on the stand and all of a sudden one party or the other comes up with some video that nobody's ever seen before. And that's the reason for all of this disruption. But at the same time, you know, maybe some of this can be whittled down. And that is a wild paraphrase of that order, but I think y'all know what I'm talking about.
We know what you're talking about.
What I want to know is, where are we really? I mean, I know, you know, witness lists look one way before the trial, and who you end up calling oftentimes ends up being something different. I know this is a multi-count indictment. I know that there are a lot of defendants involved in several different incidents. And I don't expect this right now, but I would like from everybody, to the extent the defense knows whether they're going to present a case or not, a realistic list of witnesses, maybe like what counts they go to and what you expect those witnesses to say.
I think that's
generally,
good. I like it.
Broadly. Because this case has been going on for a really long time. And there is a rule that lets me
There's no way
exclude
there's that many
cumulative
witnesses.
evidence. And I might end up using that. So how about y'all give me a heads up on all of that, okay? And
yeah, that's wild.
If that is something that y'all could have to me by next Friday for everybody, that would be great. Let's
And I think
see.
we need to give Judge Glanville some grace too, because he kind of had to start with this case and trim off a lot of fat on this case. So he was probably at the point where he's tired. So you see Young Thug back there eating Oreos, listening to headphones. Judge Glanville said, man, if y'all don't stop playing, let me get my comfort break, take my dog to the bathroom and yell at Brian Steele. I don't care about all this stuff. Let's just get through it. So yeah, we got a fresh new recruit here, and Judge Paige Whitaker said, all right, y'all had some time to get this stuff in order. Let's go ahead and get it right.
Next on my list.
I love it.
To kind of just general scheduling, other than the week of the 29th, and then I was told, I think Monday through Thursday of August 19th through 22nd. Is anybody aware of time that has already been given to the jury as you're out of court this week? You have this week free? No? Okay. All right.
She is not
Does
playing.
any attorney right now know of a date that nobody from your team can be here? And I wouldn't expect that to be the case because y'all are in trial, but no, I mean, anybody getting married? Okay.
Yes, that's a shot. You taking a shot at Melnick there. He said, we don't need no more Kayla Melnick Woody situations. All right. So Melnick, make sure you're in the court.
So
I love it.
I hesitate to even say the next thing I'm going to say, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Come on, Judge Whitaker. Let's go.
The little bit I have seen about this case, it definitely has appeared that there have been times that tempers have flared a whole lot and that people have been maybe less than professional. And I hope that this kind of breather has given everybody a breather, and everybody has been absolutely wonderful here today. But I would like for us to maintain a degree of decorum and dignity and professionalism. That is what is really expected of all of us as members of the bar. I don't want to have to say anything beyond that, okay? But if it gets to a point where I think that
She's
is
looking
not
at the
being
prosecution
carried out appropriately, we're going to all have to talk, okay? All right.
Oh, man. I love Judge Whitaker laying down the
All
law.
right, what else do y'all think that I need to be thinking about, or do we need to be talking about, or at least raising to talk about later? And anything from the state?
Your Honor, I believe that the court has sufficiently addressed everything that we had anticipated we needed to address with the court.
Okay.
Now.
All right. Mr. Weinstein?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Sharp, anything?
There have been, this case, as you know, is enormous, and the discovery is enormous. There are certain with Judge Glanville, we have some general rulings about some matters, but not particulars.
Okay.
I'm trying to give a heads up. This is an example, but I don't think this is a situation. I have filed a motion regarding, there was a wiretap in this case.
Okay.
And the judge overruled my objections and stated that the wiretap was legal. He made that finding. However, there are other issues about the wiretap and the particular things said in the wiretap. Some of those pieces of communication may be admissible, may not on an individual basis. Certain things like that, I'm just giving the court a heads up, have not been parsed through to the particulars.
Okay.
And we've discussed like the need to do those things, and some of those things we've kind of kicked the can down the road a little bit, so they're still outstanding.
Okay.
I just wanted to bring it to you.
All right. So maybe when everybody is putting their lists of witnesses and what they're generally going to be talking about together, they could also, I don't know what happened to my mic all of a sudden, they could also include if there's any kind of either voluminous evidence, video evidence, audio evidence that we need to be considering admissibility of before the witness testifies. If y'all can maybe list out for everybody.
Yeah, no
what that
surprise
is.
evidence, right?
Because yes, I absolutely want those things to have been determined before, witness Smith gets on the stand and we have 18 hours of some kind of video statement that nobody's thought about yet.
She likes to be
I'd
prepared.
like to say
That's clear.
I'm sure that all of the evidence has been exchanged by now. Would I be correct in saying that?
There's reports that we're still missing. The state has said that they don't have those reports. Officers have testified that they wrote the reports.
Okay.
And we're still missing them.
All right.
That's been a recurring theme.
All right. If everybody wants to detail anything that they think is missing, and I'll hear from the state on whether it is either missing, about to show up, or does not exist, that'll be something we can take up substantively, just so we start out all on the same page. That'll be something maybe y'all can do next week, and we'll take up the week after that as well. Okay, because if we
playing.
need like 5 days of motions in limine, we need to do that. Okay.
Judge, I just wanted to make clear that the state has complied with its discovery obligations, and we have turned over all of the discovery that exists in this case. And as the court is aware, discovery is that which we have so we have turned that over, and we've actually gotten and requested, we've sought from outside our office any other materials that existed in the universe. We will do as the court has instructed and provide to the court a list of matters we believe have been unaddressed still as they pertain to our requests for reciprocal discovery.
Okay. And Mr. Shard, I know you've been in my courtroom before, and typically I have, one side or the other list out specifically what they think is missing, and we inquire about it and try to get to the bottom of it. So that's what we will do. Y'all make up the list, and then we will do that. We'll actually go through it in detail so that everybody knows what's going on and we all are on the same page. All right. And y'all, for any evidence that there hasn't been a ruling on yet that I'm going to need to consider the admissibility of, I obviously am going to need a copy of that. So if I've got 5 hours of some audio to listen to, I don't want to listen to that in court. I want to listen to that beforehand so that I know what we're talking about before we get to court to hash it out. So
it's good.
Get me all of that as well. And that'll be more homework for me to do.
I wonder if she's going to listen to Lil Woody's videos, because they're trying.
Okay.
Shark said he's trying to get Lil Woody out as a witness too.
So let's go through anything, either Mr. Williams or Ms. Sabashi, for for your client. Okay, Mr. Harvey, Mr. Steele.
No, not
Okay.
this time, Your Honor.
All right. Okay.
The
The next thing
Honorable
I want
Brian
to
Steele.
raise, and I have no idea what has happened before now, but I would like to encourage everybody, while
Yeah.
we are kind of in this pause, to talk to each other about whether there are any plea negotiations that might be fruitful, whether there
Oh,
is any room for
wow.
movement by anybody on anything, any plea. I mean, I'm willing to entertain any kind of plea at any.
Wow. Now I'm not aware of any plea deals that have been offered so far by the state, but sounds like she's pushing them to get some more of these, to get some of these defendants up out of there, which is really interesting. It'll be interesting to see what the state does or what the prosecutors do with that.
It can be a joint recommendation. It will be non-negotiated, since we're in the middle of a trial, but it can certainly be a joint recommendation, or it can be state wants this, defense wants that, or it can be we all want to keep going with this trial. I am here to give everybody a fair trial and everybody a fair shake, follow the law. But I invite during this pause, if y'all want to think about that and talk about that, now would be a good time to do that. Okay? All right, so I think that y'all have a lot to do and I have a lot to do, and we will plan to get all of our filings and all of our responses in before the end of next week at the dates that I had provided. And why don't we plan to maybe not Monday, but Tuesday, the 30th.
Okay, so we're gonna be back at Tuesday the 30th
here
at 8:45. I'm sure.
8:45.
Hey, let's go.
And just start tackling everything that got filed. Okay, and we'll plan to go pretty much all day until we finish every day that week. And by the end of the week, I'll know whether we are at a spot to bring a jury in or whether we need another week. All right, anything else from anybody?
I have a question, Your Honor.
Yes.
The court instructed that we provide the court with evidence for which there may be admissibility issues.
Yes.
I wanted to ask for the court's clarification if that meant whether there have been prior motions to suppress filed, or if the court is instructing that notwithstanding the absence of a motion to suppress on a particular piece of evidence, that we are now going to be entertaining motions to suppress. For instance, if there's a recording that we have turned over, will the court be entertaining motions to?
So I don't really
That's a good
know
question.
what the expectation has been. I mean, if this had been my trial from the get-go, we'd have litigated all the motions to suppress by now. Motions to suppress shouldn't really be getting filed mid-trial. That being said,
there were a lot of things that happened.
I would rather, if somebody is going to stand up and say this is 100% unconstitutional for X, Y, and Z reasons, I shouldn't be letting in something that's unconstitutional for X, Y, and Z reasons. So I'd like to know it, but I mean, I want it to be a legitimate, valid concern evidentially, constitutionally. I don't want it to be, here's my chance to challenge everything under the sun. So I don't know if that answers your question, but
It's good stuff.
it sounds like there are chunks of evidence that everybody has just basically not gotten to yet, and y'all sort of said, all right, we'll get to that when we get to this witness. And if y'all have been operating on a kind of rolling, all right, when we get to this witness, we'll deal with that evidence, then I don't, if that's what the expectation
Look at Love
has
shaking
been,
her head.
then I wouldn't expect y'all to have
This
all
lady is too funny,
filed
man.
all of your
Shout out to Miss
challenges.
Love.
I don't know what's been going on.
Your Honor, that has not been the case. No, but because of the way that the court indicated.
It hasn't, you sure?
That the court wanted parties to provide evidence regarding admissibility issues. I just wanted to make certain that I understood what the court was instructing. There have been evidentiary issues that I believe the parties disagree on. The state disagrees with counsel for defendants' interpretation of what is ripe and what is valid for contesting at a particular moment. I don't doubt those will continue to arise, but I was asking as it pertains to what the court instructed just a second ago regarding evidence. I didn't know whether the court was doing something different than what I.
Okay, so I don't intend to revisit rulings on evidence that's already come in.
Yep.
But for evidence that we know is out there and was going to be introduced a month from now with, you know, witness Jones, if y'all been doing that on a rolling basis and y'all know that there are going to be evidentiary issues with it, things that I would have considered motions in limine, then I want us to all go ahead and voice that now.
Get it out the way.
Sort it out so that we know when the witness shows up what can be talked about and what can't be. And I don't know if that gave you clarification. Okay. All right, Ms. Abbasi.
Yes, Your Honor, if I may, I have to disagree with Ms. Love that it's been going along that we've already had motions about what is and is not admissible. Just to propound on kind of what Your Honor was mentioning and what the task for defense faces, we have a list of 8,000 jail calls. We haven't listened to 8,000 jail calls, and I think probably all agree that they're not relevant. Everyone would agree that they're not relevant. The state's not actually going to introduce all those jail calls. However, defense, our burden, if we don't raise the objection, it's been waived, and then it comes in at trial.
Okay, so that's why the witness lists with what this is relevant to and what evidence is going to be used is going to be, I hope, very helpful in giving us all a better kind of groundwork.
Yes, Your Honor, that is precisely what I'm asking.
Okay.
20,000 pages of Instagram, it's going to be these ones.
Okay. Okay.
And Jeff,
yes, sir, Mr. Adams.
Yes,
good afternoon.
8,000 jail calls.
With Mr. Steele for Mr. Williams. Just to, I think the court wanted to know if there are things that Judge Glanville had been doing in regards to that particular issue. And I did want to just append to what Mr. Bond was saying. For example, there have been jail calls, there are interviews, that generally speaking, there have been hearings on the admissibility of those statements.
Okay.
But the court has oftentimes said,
this case is going to take forever.
I agree that, for example, this statement may be admissible, but there may be some things in the statement that's objectionable.
Sure.
We'll deal with that at that time. The court has routinely been doing that. So not necessarily kicking the can down the road, but addressing issues as they come up. And the court has urged both sides in advance of that issue coming up. If we can get together and iron some things out, let's do it. We've been working to do that, but there have been routinely times where we simply just disagree and we've had to take those items up. And I think what you would like, what Judge Landell has asked, is that let's let you know about it as far in advance as we can. And that way you can set aside some time to deal with it without impinging on the juries.
Absolutely. I mean, that is, I want to be respectful and cognizant of the jury's time. I also want y'all to all know what to expect to the extent you can. And
sounds like she's telling them to work together.
That we can litigate beforehand, if it's going to be necessary. Now, if there's some totally irrelevant Instagram post and the state knows they're not going to use it, but they listed it 1,000,000 years ago, their updated list that they're going to share with everybody should not include the Instagram post that they know they're not going to use. So, all right, so I will expect whatever filings y'all, I will anxiously anticipate all of them. Make sure whenever you file anything that you contemporaneously email a copy of it to Ms. Rosser, because the court and chambers do not automatically get what y'all file. I have no idea what you filed unless you actually let us know. So make sure that when you file it, you send a copy to Ms. Rosser so that we know about it. Okay? All right, so I'll plan to see everybody bright and early at 8:45 on Tuesday, July 30th. All right?
July
Don't
30th.
leave until you make sure Ms. Rosser has your cell information.
Contemporaneously.
Yes.
Judge Glanville had, for both sides, 2 Fridays before that tell the other side what witnesses and what exhibits are going to be in play. I would hope that continues. That was very helpful.
That sounds like a good idea. So sure, we can leave that as sort of a standing rule. And I suspect that this is true as well, but let me go ahead and say that as we're going through trial, I expect you to have your next witness ready to go. I don't want there to be a 5-minute pause between one witness getting off the stand and the next witness getting on the stand.
No ex parte meetings.
The state knows, we're in the state's case right now. The state knows what it's doing. The
No
state
talking
has
to
investigative help. Make
people
sure
in their
you
car.
have enough witnesses to carry us through each day and that they're ready to go. Again, that all just kind of falls under the auspices of let's be respectful of the jury's time. Mr. Harvey.
Can I assume, Judge, that we are going to continue with the opt-out rules so that you're not going to get all 8 of us standing up going, I'm in too?
Yes, no, that's a great idea. Let's continue with that rule as well.
Thank you.
I mean, I plan to basically continue with the rules already in effect unless there's some reason to change them. So I hope if there is something, y'all can bring it to my attention. Otherwise, we'll just keep rocking as before. All right, thanks everybody.
To be honest, remember the press.
She is not playing around.
Place for the members of the press to get the witness list on Friday, so if someone will be excluded to be shown on camera, we want to make sure that's still in place.
Okay, so I guess y'all would have agreed beforehand that a particular witness shouldn't be shown on camera, and then who gave the list?
The state has been providing to members of the press the list of those persons, and the judge has made rulings regarding those.
So I saw a ruling that said if there's somebody who, for whatever reason, shouldn't be shown, whatever kind of concerns, then they won't be shown in the, but
it wasn't exhaustive.
It seemed that that was kind of a witness by witness thing, and that there was an opportunity for input.
Yeah, there's an order that the judge entered, and there were certain reasons that the state could request that witnesses not be televised.
Still waiting on a motion for Mr. Weinstein too.
The Friday before, and then we would have the opportunity to get to that by Monday.
Right.
And then the judge would make a decision based on his criteria, whether that witness should be shown on television or not.
Right.
And I believe that Mr. Harvey has a standing objection to all witnesses at this point.
Okay, wait, to all witnesses being shown or being excluded? Okay. Well,
Look at Miss Love. Oh, man. We need to make that into a meme.
Okay, well, that's why I guess it's being taken up on.
And I'm in concurrence with this.
Oh, Miss Love is done. Look at her. She's having a full-on conversation with herself. She is done. Oh my gosh. And listen, I want to be fair too. And I think we should take this time, to give the prosecution a fresh start. Maybe they can redeem themselves now that there's somebody who's unbiased. But look at Miss Love, man. She's out. She's having a whole full on conversation with herself. Y'all know, y'all can hear her saying that I want, and then this. Look at her. She's mad.
Wait, to all witnesses being shown or being excluded? Okay, well.
No witnesses excluded. I don't want to speak for Mr. Harder.
All right.
And I'm in concurrence with Mr.
Okay, well, that's why I guess
She
it's
said.
being taken up on a case, witness by witness basis. So, Ms. Love, then you're providing that to the court and the opposing counsel. If there's objection, we're litigating it. And then are we saying it's like the next Friday that we then tell the press? Or help me out on that.
Ms. Hilton says she has been providing that list. I will let her explain to the court.
Okay, because I guess I'm wondering, how is there a list?
Turn that
if
mic on, y'all.
There hasn't been either agreement or a decision on it.
I believe, I'll let Ms. Hilton start, because she's the one that initially
Okay.
prepares the list.
All right.
Good morning, Your Honor, or
Good afternoon at
Your
this
Honor.
point.
What has happened is the week before, certain witnesses were going to come up the following week.
Okay.
We would identify any of those witnesses that we are asking not to be shown. We would forward that to the media as well as opposing counsel. They would then decide, object, and we would hear on Monday the ruling from the court.
Okay, well, so then with regard to the media's inquiry, it sounds like what y'all have been getting as a list from the state is kind of the preliminary. We think this might be the case list. But Ms. Hilton, do you then give them and here's what our determination was list, or?
So normally the court has put on the record that Monday, whether or not
She's always coaching her up.
should not be shown.
Okay, so y'all you've got your list and you either strike that person off because I said they can be seen, or you just go with what's on there. Okay, that makes sense. So yes, we'll continue with that as well. All right, we're in recess.
There it is, man. There is a new sheriff in town. The Honorable, oh man, Paige Whitaker is in here. Ooh, this is gonna be a fun one to watch. Again, we got to give Glanville his credit. We got to say, hey, Glanville, he had this thing dropped in his lap. He had a lot he had to deal with, and he really had to take this case up front and trim away a lot of the fat. Now, I mean, well, willingly or unwillingly, Miss Whitaker is getting tagged in, and she looks like she's about to take over. And I'm running a pretty tight ship. So y'all let me know what you think in the comments and also in the chat how this is gonna go. I think we get a good idea of how she's gonna run this court. So it'll be interesting to see how things move during this entire trial, and how fair she is as well. All right, Mr. Tesla said, finally a new judge. That means no more content for class. Oh man, you're gonna celebrate that? Don't celebrate that. You know, honestly, I should have been pushing to keep Glanville up there. Now we're still gonna cover it. And honestly, if y'all are liking these live coverages, I usually save these live coverages for the professionals, like the lead attorney, like somebody like infamous Sylvia that's in the courtroom. Who's another person that covers this live? But usually TLA is the main one that I watch, especially when they're covering it live, because he has a lot of great insight to some of the things that are said and discussed during that. So I don't know if Lee's gonna be up at 8:45 though. I'm gonna have to hit him up and say, hey Lee, you gonna be up 8:45? Because that's a struggle right there. But we'll have to see how it goes. If y'all enjoyed this live coverage and the live breakdown and the live review of what's going on, we may do these in the future. We'll have to see. Let me see what y'all are saying in the chat though. So we put a poll in the chat. I asked y'all, has Judge Whitaker been following the YSL RICO trial? What did y'all say? It looks like 72% of you said yes, you think she has been. 27% said no. I don't know how. I don't see how she could have not been covering this. And I mean, all the things that she was saying are wild. There was a good breakdown here I want to pull up. I think it was Thugger Daily that had a list somewhere. Or maybe it was Joseph Papp that did it. Let me see. What all did she say? Yeah, it was Joseph Papp. He says, there's no food allowed in the courtroom, but okay, so food is allowed in the courtroom, but no snacking while trial is going on. Clothing for the defendants needs to be addressed. Minimize court disruption. We also talked about and heard about the headphones. She said, I don't want y'all having headphones and listening to, I don't know, listening to evidence or listening to music, whatever you're doing during the trial. And she really made it sound like she wants all of them to work together. She said, y'all need to get together, work on stuff. If there's anything outside of that, I can get it for you. I'll get you the list and send it to y'all. And then you can look at it. Let me know what you think. And then we can revisit it. Our tension is going to get better or worse from here because some pretty serious things have been said from both sides. Y'all see Miss Love over there? She was not having it. She was not having it. Lauren says AV and TLA. Yep, AV's usually over there with TLA when he's covering this live. I don't know if TLA is going to be up at 8:45 though. He might do it for the content. That man's retired though. He's trying to chill. Shout out to TLA. Amy says he will have plenty of content even if it's not about this. Yeah, we've always got something to talk about. Boss says TLA should be more family friendly with his language. What? I disagree 1000%. I love everything that TLA does. If y'all haven't checked out The Lead Attorney, make sure you go check him out over on YouTube. He does an amazing job covering a lot of these cases. And AV to the seventh power, his co-host, does a great job as well. Amy Lee says, have you seen this world we live in? It's wild out here. I know I had 4 other topics I wanted to talk about today. We're getting close to the end of the show and I'm not going to be able to get to them. I wanted to talk about Biden. I wanted to talk about, well, we were going to talk about, oh, why did this turn up? We were going to talk about the interview I mentioned to y'all yesterday, which now I regret not doing it yesterday because Kayla is saying that her YouTube got attacked again. So the interview I was going to cover yesterday, I went to pull up the video this morning and the interview was gone. I was like, dang. But Kayla went live this morning. She's talking about it. She actually says she was stuck in Houston and was supposed to be here. I don't know if she made it to this status update or not, because she was stuck in Houston and couldn't get out of Houston because everything that's going on with the Microsoft and the what is it, Crowd? Oh, I can't remember the name. Whatever that antivirus software that Microsoft has going on. And it's looking like Microsoft is down worldwide. So Kayla, a lot of the flights, especially Delta, were down. People weren't able to get out of there. So I don't know if she made it in or not. Crowdsource. Thank you. God, I could not. No, CrowdStrike. Yeah, there it is. CrowdStrike. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, we were supposed to talk about all of that today, but we might not get to it. We'll see what we're saying. Yeah, Amy's talking about, we were supposed to talk about Biden. She said, breaking news, Biden reportedly plans to exit the presidential race as early as this weekend. Buckle up, buttercup. Yeah, he's out of there. He's done. And the crazy, I guess we need to talk about it, huh? The crazy thing is, he said he is not going to nominate Kamala Harris as his successor. Dang. That's crazy. He said, no, I'm just going to let them decide who they want to. It's wild out here. So we're not going to run out of content to make. That's for sure. Also, it's interesting that Biden stepped down like that, because we had a lot of people who were saying, oh, I still support Biden. And then you got Nancy Pelosi who came out and said, no, we got to get him up out of there. Biden, you need to get out of here. Everyone's saying, Obama even said, Biden, you got to go. So we'll see what happens. But yeah. So everybody who said, we still support Biden, where y'all at, man? It's awfully quiet over there. Anyway. Mar says the new judge is fire. Kristen says, so the courtroom has rules. Should have been that way in the first place. Well, Judge Glanville had rules. It's just we take comfort breaks, and whatever he feels at the moment is right, that's what he's going to do. But no, we got to give Judge Glanville a break, even though he wasn't being fair, even though he messed up. He did do a lot of work on this case too, so we'll see what happens. Let me see what else y'all are saying. What else are y'all saying in here? So we have a couple of motions that were filed today that I want to go over with y'all, and we'll get it to it here in a second. Mr. Tesla said the worldwide computer was shut down. Yeah, everything is shut down. Lauren said he ready to take a nap and eat ice cream. Oh man, yeah, Joe is struggling. Mar says Trump 2024, baby. Though I did not enjoy the speech last night. I was going to talk about his speech too. I think somebody posted a clip of his speech. I didn't think it was great either. It was long, and I honestly wish he would have spent more time talking about everybody else who was affected, and especially, you know, Corey I'm going to mess up his last name, so I just say Corey, that gentleman who lost his life. But I think he did all right. It wasn't the best speech ever, though. Hollywood Co says Mr. Beast for president. Oh, here we go. Shout out to Rebecca. Rebecca says she did some content. She does some content. Rebecca, you got to tell me where I can find your content at, because I want to check out your videos and stuff. Rebecca says there's no reason for Kayla to be at this hearing. Lies again. Dang, man. She was at the airport. Okay? She was at the airport. She was trying to get there. I think she said she was saying something like they were trying to get her on Zoom, or maybe she would do it by Zoom, but I don't know. I don't think she made it, honestly. Mar said he fell asleep twice. Lauren says 3 hours and no fumbles. Whew, that's crazy. Wood Drummer says it's going to be wild in Chicago when the Democrats have their convention. I mean, what are they going to talk about? And you even look at the mess that California is. I got to fix that light. I mean, there's been talk of Gavin Newsom becoming the candidate for California. If that happens, he's going to get destroyed. He's going to get absolutely destroyed if they make him the Democratic nominee. California is in shambles right now. It's so bad. They're passing so many bad laws and regulations and everything they're doing. Yeah, I'm not going to get into that. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into these motions. Oh, and I forgot, if y'all want to call in, man, the link to call in is in the description, and it's also in the pinned comment in the chat. If y'all want to call in and share your thoughts, please do that. We're going to go over to Thugger Daily because we have some more motions that were filed here that I want to get into. And I think y'all are going to find this interesting. I want to find the full thing, though. I had... give me a second. I had it pulled up. I might need to take... we might need to take a brief intermission. Let me see if I can find it, if Joseph has it. Because we've got two motions that were filed. We've got a bond motion, and then we have one I know y'all are going to find interesting, which is a motion to disqualify from Brian Steele. So we're starting out early. We'll get it here in a second. Lawrence says, I agree, Rebecca. Yep. Wood Drummer says Elon Musk is even pulling out of California. Yeah, he's sick of it, man. He said, I tried to work with y'all. You're making life way more difficult. So I think he's in Austin and Houston. I think the last thing he pulled out of California is SpaceX, I believe. Yeah. Elon, he's getting out of here. Mara says Project 25 is not Trump's plans. It's a bunch of BS. The DNC is using scare tactics. It's going to be like Y2K. Everybody's going to look at it and be like, oh, this is what was going to happen. And then we're going to get to 2025 and beyond. And yeah. Yep. SpaceX. SpaceX is up out of there. Elon said he's done with California. Can't take it anymore. All right. Let me see if I can find these motions real quick. I should have had these pulled up, but I'm running super behind today. So y'all give me 1 second. I'm going to play y'all some music and then we'll get into it.
And I face rejection, I still see you stepping anyway. Praise is my weapon, you're never second on any day.
They pushed me away, I was living like a stray when you found me astray. When my past had me acting some ways, they pointed, laughed at my face. Expected grace, but got a smack in the face. Couple shirts on my back when I packed them away. 16 on the streets, never went back to that place. Young and homeless, young and broken. Couldn't focus, always smoking, drinking potion. How I was coping, I was floating without a purpose. Felt like a burden, I was yearning for acceptance. Soon as I stepped in your presence, I was repentant. Heard your message, such a blessing. Changed directions, I've done so many things beyond what imagined. You brought beauty out of what they call tragedy. Now I'm looking back, smiling and laughing. And even though it all looked hopeless, you had it written off.
And I face rejection, I still see you stepping anyway. Praise is my weapon, you're never second on any day.
So many years misleading myself. Thought if I found your acceptance, I believe in myself. But you left when I was bleeding for help. Cause you never saw me royal, you mistreated my wealth. When you see that wine is loyal through the toil, we need a seat on the shelf. Cause I held things together like a seat on the belt. I thank God that you burned me cause I needed to melt. My self-image I was learning, just the hand I was dealt. And all the pain that I felt, I'll never take it back. I would've never moved forward if you hadn't stabbed my back. In fact, I thank God for his grace. I probably would've died if I never found his way. I pray that we can find all the healing that we need. As for me, I found it on my knees. Cause he's the only one that stays. When people leave, all things pass away. So it's God I seek to please. Yeah, written off.
And I face rejection, I still see you stepping anyway. Praise is my weapon, you're never second on any day. And I face rejection, I still see you stepping anyway. Praise is my weapon, you're never second on any day.
All right, that was Rejected by Joseph Madigan and Christina Weaver. If I remember right, Amy, there's some connection or relation between Joseph and Christina Weaver. Am I right? Or I don't know. Something's making me think there's something there with Christina Weaver. Anyway, we got one more thing we're going to cover, and then I'll get you all up out of here. Let me see what y'all are saying. Mr. Tesla said, I like this song. So what did y'all say? I asked y'all, should we get Kayla on the show? Let me put it in a poll, actually. I'm going to put a poll in the chat. Y'all let me know if we should get Kayla over here. All right, here we go. And I want to see what y'all are saying in the chat too. Amy says, yes, get her on. Woodrummer says that would be dope. Oh man, Rebecca Starr said, nope, what can she add? Well, I mean, she's an attorney. I'm not even an attorney. So, I mean, she could have a lot more to say on some of these topics than I would. And I think now that she's officially been released, there's probably some other things she can talk about as well. If she's got some smoke for me, she can give me all the smoke, which I don't think she does. From what I've seen from Kayla, I think she gets and understands not only content creators, but especially if someone's keeping things respectful. There's going to be a back and forth. There was even there was someone who was saying, like, actually making personal attacks at her that was on her live stream. I'm not going to say them by name, but we didn't do that over here. So I think she'd be willing to come up. Amy Lee says, I personally don't think Kayla adds much because I feel like she's messy. However, I think she could be good traffic to the channel. I think it could be good for both sides. I think y'all are too harsh on her. Give her a break. This content game is tough, man. It's tough. And especially if you're just jumping into it. I think that's why I give her so much grace, because I understand, if I had, when I started this, if I had 10,000, 8,000 people watching me when I first started, y'all would be, y'all cook me now, but y'all would be cooking me. Let's see. Rebecca Starr says, I would call in, but at the gym and there's no voice only option. Oh, shout out to Rebecca Starr. Rebecca, there is a voice only option. So you can just turn your camera off. Yeah, you don't have to have your camera on. So when you call in, Rebecca, just turn your camera off and then you should be good to go. I would love for Rebecca Starr to call in, because I definitely want to hear what you have to say. So yeah, call in, and I'm not going to bring you up on camera anyway. So if you want to call in, please do that. That would be dope. What else are y'all saying? Mr. Tesla says, yes, bring her in here. What else? Lauren Robinson says, she is a little messy, but I think this is all new for her. Yeah, I gotta give her a break. Mixed Chick Samantha is in the building. Shout out to you. She said, hey everyone, I'm super late. I know we didn't have as many people in here today because the professionals were covering this. And as y'all saw, of course, Law and Crime was playing it as well. So most people are over there watching it. But yeah, shout out to everybody who's stopping back by. Mixed Chick Samantha. I don't know if Lead Attorney's still live either. He's probably still live over there as well. But yeah, if y'all want to call in, you do not have to come up on camera. And I don't show you guys. Now, if you want to be on camera, you can, and let me know. But let me see here. What else are y'all saying? I think we're good. Amy says, ClassE loves some Kayla. Y'all don't hurt his feelings now. No, I think I just see how much she could. I see the potential now. I think she could do really well on YouTube. I think she's going to do well, especially if she sticks with it. Doesn't seem like she wants to quit. She wants to keep going with it. So I think she'll do well. All right, let's go ahead and get into it, and then we'll maybe take some more calls. I'm going to double check one more time and see. Okay, Rebecca hasn't called in. Rebecca, call in a minute. We're just going to do a quick segment, and then I'll get y'all up out of here. Mixed Chick Samantha says, ClassE, will Kayla bother you? She seems to annoy you. What? Why are people saying that? She does not annoy me. Y'all gotta watch the videos, man. I give Kayla her credit so much. I don't even know what else to say at this point. She does not annoy me. I think she's gonna be fun. All right, let's get into it. So even with Judge Paige Whitaker being brought in as the new judge, she's presiding over this trial, as we just talked about earlier. She gave a status update and laid the ground rules for exactly what needs to go on. But before that even happened, we've got our guy, Brian Steele, the Honorable Brian Steele, YSL Steele, as they call him, the Attorney of the Year, is actually working behind the scenes and is filing some motions. But before we get into that one, we do have a new motion that was filed, and we've got Marquavius Huey is asking for bond. So this is a quick one. We're going to read through real quick, and then we'll get into what Brian Steele is talking about. So check this out. We have Marquavius Huey says renewed motion for bond based upon the change in circumstances. Obviously, Judge Glanville, he's up out of here. All right, it says, comes now Marquavius Huey, defendant in the above styled case, and files this motion for mistrial and or renewed motion for bond based upon a change in circumstances, and respectfully request this honorable court consider the following facts. All right. In support of this motion, defendant states, and it says the background, Marquavius Huey was booked into the Fulton County Jail on December 14th, 2021. This man has been in jail for 3 years almost. Jeez. And has remained in continuous uninterrupted custody without bond since the date of his arrest on a grand jury bench warrant. Mr. Huey petitioned this court for bond on September 8th, 2022, wherein this court denied bond. Despite proffering substantial information to the court to meet all of the factors for bond, and they're mentioned in section 1761, provides as follows. A court shall be authorized to release a person on bail if the court finds the person possesses no significant risk of fleeing from the jurisdiction and the court, or failing to appear in court when required, possesses no significant threat or danger, or any persons to the community or any property in the community, poses no significant risk of committing any felony pending trial. Okay, and then it goes on here. This is Mr. Marquavius Huey. So he's trying to get up out of there, and they're trying to get him some bond, because being in jail for 3 years on this is crazy. Absolutely crazy. But we're going to get to another motion that was filed, and this is the big one. Y'all are going to love this. This is from our guy, Brian Steele, aka the representative for Young Thug. And this is the motion to disqualify lawyers Love and Hilton. Brian is not playing. Comes now, Jeffrey Williams, by and through undersigned counsel, and hereby files this motion to disqualify lawyers Love and Hilton in the above referenced case. In support of this motion, Mr. Williams shows as follows. Mr. Williams, innocent of all crimes in the above referenced indictment. As previously asserted, lawyer Love and lawyer Hilton have made themselves critical witnesses in this case, including but not limited to when lawyer Love engaged in text messages with witness Arcelian Bennett. I do not remember who this is, so I have to go back and look at that. And lawyer Love. Lawyer Hilton and Judge Glanville communicated with sworn witness Kenneth Copeland, aka Little Woody, at a critical stage of Young Thug's trial during this now infamous June 10th wholly improper ex parte meeting in chambers meeting. Man, Brian does not miss. Undersigned counsel has the duty to cross-examine/examine Lil Woody, lawyer Love, lawyer Hilton, and Judge Glanville on all facts of this secret strategy session pursuant to the Confrontation Clause, right to present a defense, 6th and 14th Amendment right to effective assistance of counsel, due process right to a fair trial, as well as a fair tribunal on behalf of Young Thug under both the Georgia Constitution and the United States Constitution. So he put, obviously Judge Glanville's up out of here, but he put lawyer Love and lawyer Hilton and Judge Glanville in there as well. And there's a reason he did that, right? And he mentions here in this note, he said the motion applies to Judge Glanville as well. Right. And we can see the supplement and amended supplement to recuse Judge Glanville filed on July 8th and July 9th, which we talked about as well. So he's saying, hey, we're going to call them as witnesses. So we need them to get out of here because they conducted themselves poorly. They had meetings they weren't supposed to. They were texting people. It's just a whole mess. So he's saying, get them up out of there, and we're going to call them to the witness stand so they cannot be involved in this case. This will mandate that Lil Woody be cross-examined before the jury about his meetings and conversations with lawyer Love, lawyer Hilton, and Judge Glanville. The essential The essential questioning injects the veracity and credibility of lawyers Love and Hilton and Judge Glanville. Undersigned counsel will also examine lawyer Love, lawyer Hilton, and Judge Glanville as to why they knowingly made false and misleading assertions to Lil Woody about the alleged disloyalty of Lil Woody's lawyer and provided legally incorrect information to Lil Woody in order to persuade Lil Woody to testify against Mr. Williams. This is a mess. We talked about this in past videos and in past live streams. They were giving Lil Woody all the wrong information, saying, yeah, you can say whatever you want to on the stand and nothing's going to happen to you. That's just not true. Not true at all. And he mentions that, man, he mentions everything that they messed up with here. Let's go back and read it. Undersigned counsel will also examine lawyer Love, lawyer Hilton, and Judge Glanville as to why they knowingly made false and misleading assertions to Lil Woody about the alleged disloyalty of Lil Woody's lawyer. Were they talking about Mr. Melnick or Kayla? I don't know who they're talking about here. And provided legally incorrect information to Lil Woody in order to persuade Lil Woody to testify against Young Thug. Based upon their own deliberate and intentional concealed misconduct, Judge Glanville's lawyer Hilton and lawyer Love's credibility and acts are now at the center in Mr. Williams' trial, aka Young Thug's trial. The lawyers must be removed and disqualified from further participation in this case, save as witnesses. All right, so he said he's going to call them, y'all. See Georgia Rule of Professional Conduct 3.7, all this other stuff. During the jury charge, it is expected that this honorable court will be asked to instruct the jury to suggest pattern jury instruction 1.70.10 as follows. The court has no interest in this case by no ruling or comment that the court has made during such progress of this trial has the court intended to express any opinion upon the facts of this case, upon credibility of the witness, upon evidence, or upon guilt or innocence of the defendant. That ex parte meeting just messed everything up. It really did. And with Judge Glanville being up out of there, and the reason being because Rachel Krause said, hey, it just doesn't look right, Glanville. I think you could have done a great job with this case, which we all are not believing. Stop the cap. And I think you were doing a great job with this case, but it just doesn't look right. And because people have seen it, they heard it, we want them to have faith in the Fulton County judicial system. We got to get you out of there. How can you not say the same thing about lawyers Love and Hilton at this point? They were involved in so many ways throughout this case of wrongdoing, whether that was the ex parte meeting, whether that was in court, whether that was before court when ADA Hilton met with Lil Woody, knowing that he had representation and not asking him if he wanted representation there, and then lying and saying, you didn't say you had a lawyer. You said that you didn't have a lawyer. And Lil Woody said, no, I didn't say I didn't have a lawyer. I just said I hadn't talked to him. And they already got Woody on the stand too. I want this case and this trial to be over at this point, just because it's been such a mess and these guys have been sitting in jail for years without a fair trial. But I really want to see this cross-examination because, as I mentioned before, y'all know Lil Woody is going to give the defense every single thing they need to put the prosecution in the ground. And to not only that, but I think it's going to look good for him as well if he cooperates more with the defense, even if it's at the risk of him not looking so great. And I'm sure Brian would have a discussion with Young Thug about that too. We don't even know if Young Thug even cares at this point, to be honest. So undersigned counsel requires this above testimony from lawyers Love and Hilton and Judge Glanville in order to have the deliberating jury consider whether Judge Glanville was in fact biased for the prosecution and that this jury instruction is not applicable prior to July 15, 2024, the day Mr. Williams' motion to recuse Judge Glanville was granted. Wherefore, Young Thug respectfully requests a hearing on this motion, and at the conclusion of same, asked this honorable court to grant the above requested relief. Signed, the Honorable Lawyer of the Year, YSL Brian Steele. All right. And Keith Adams is up in there too, co-counsel. Yeah, I think Brian has this one in the bag. I would love to see what goes on in this hearing. I definitely hope that we get to see what happens in this hearing. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but it'll be interesting to see some of the evidence and some of the shots that are taken during this hearing, because Judge Paige Whitaker is going to have to hear this, and she's going to have to look at it. And from what I've seen from her so far, she's no nonsense. And if there's been a history of the prosecution attorneys that have been acting improperly before she got there, seems like she's just going to end it. So y'all let me know what you think in the comments and in the chat as well. Is that going to be the case? Is she going to get Love and Hilton out of there? Or is she going to let them stay? And is this not enough to get them off of the case? We'll see. We will see. Let me see. Oh, Rebecca was trying to call in. Let me see if she got in here. So it looks like somebody called in and left. Let me see what she's saying. She said, ClassE, I've tried to get on 3 times. Not sure what I'm doing wrong. Dang. Let me see here. Let me see. What else are y'all saying? I'm going to try. Kayla, Kayla, she's not going to like it. Rebecca, can you try that one more time and see if it works? Because you should be able to call in. No, I think she's not on there. And if y'all want to call in as well, we're going to be here for a few more minutes. Y'all can call in. The link to call in is in the description and also in the pinned comment in the chat. Let me see what y'all said about having Kayla on the show. So I asked y'all, do you think that we should get Kayla on the show? All right, it's looking like y'all decided, man. 70% of you say, yeah, get Kayla in there. Amy said, I got Kayla on the brain. I know. Kayla. Let me see if Rebecca's back in here. Rebecca, come back. All right. What else are y'all saying in the comments? Let's see. Oh, yeah. Mr. Tesla said he's trying to ball. Yeah, we can get to the LA Fitness. Mr. Tesla said, in my head, all I hear is it's the Kanye workout plan. Mixed Chick Samantha says, I guess I was wrong, Amy. ClassE got Kayla on his mind. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm gonna hit Kayla up and see if she wants to come over here. Let me see what else y'all are saying. I think I got everybody else in the building. I was hoping I could get Rebecca up in here. Oh, there she is. I see you, Rebecca. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. There she is.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me make sure we're good. All right. This is Rebecca Starr is in the building, aka It's Rebecca Starr.
Hi.
Y'all show her some love. Give her some applause in the chat. All right, Rebecca, what's on your mind? I want to hear it.
Well, okay, so first of all, I go hard on Kayla because I followed the case for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I post a lot on Twitter. And I, like, maybe probably about a month ago, I posted that, you know, there are a couple of things that I saw that didn't seem right to me. I thought that she was connected to Hilton and Love in some kind of way. This is before I looked at her LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So that was, and living in Atlanta, everybody's a soror sister or connected to someone, especially if you're a lawyer or a doctor, right? Everybody knows each other. Yeah. So I was like, she's a little bit too familiar with them. And so I think that they know each other. It turns out that she.
Uh-oh, we lost her for a second. Oh no, Rebecca, come back.
Can you?
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. We lost you there for a second.
Okay, I just have to.
Yes.
Okay, I had to keep my screen open.
You're good.
So it turns out, she does know these lawyers. Then
Yeah.
I put something to the effect that Woody probably fired her because he knew she was on the prosecution side, like she wasn't really working for him. This is all before anything else came out, before she got on YouTube, anything. And
Right.
then I put 1/3 thing that ended up being right. So that was long ago. And then she started doing these interviews. Okay, she said that Woody and her concocted this scheme to say that she was fired so she could go back to Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that apparently I was wrong about. But she comes on my Twitter, so she's just looking for people talking about her. She comes on my Twitter, and this is 3 weeks after I posted it. She starts talking, talking mess to me, and I'm like, so what did I get wrong here then? Out of those 3 things, maybe the Woody thing is wrong, but both the other things are correct.
Mm-hmm.
And
dang, Rebecca must be getting some phone calls. Oh, we'll give her a second.
Are you there?
Yep, you're back.
Hello. Okay, so yeah, I'm not familiar with this particular video system, but anyways, so a lot of the YouTubers at that same time were saying that they thought that she was on the prosecution side, because remember when she was like begging for Miss Hilton to say something to the judge, she was standing right by them, they were wearing matching colors, like you could tell that there was some familiarity between them. I mean, anybody who follows body language in that could tell.
Yeah.
So I said that I wasn't thinking about it in the future, and then I saw that she was coming out and saying some things. I didn't say anything else about her. So then she came on my YouTube. She said, talking all this mess, talking about I look like a man, and my braids in this picture, the picture that I have up on YouTube, are messed up. And so we go into this back and forth. So she's real petty and real unprofessional. So I was like, okay, so if you want to go at me like that, I mean, when they go low, I get on the ground. So, so I was telling you that I'm going to do a video soon about like the YouTube clowns.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to do the trial clowns and the YouTube clowns, but I want it to be the way I want it to be. So, so I'll let you know.
Yeah,
but
please
one
do.
of the things that happened when I moved to Atlanta, I live part-time in New York, part-time in Atlanta.
Nice.
I saw even with my clients and friends that I have, most of my friends are attorneys, not in Atlanta though. And then the two close friends I have in Atlanta are doctors. They all are like kind of like Fannie Willis. Well, they don't date on their level. If you're a lawyer or a doctor in Atlanta, and I've offended a lot of Atlanta women by saying this, they will date drug dealers. They're looking for rappers. They're looking for like guys who are in this trial. Like we see that the other judge recused herself because the lady who had a professional job and she was going to get a good pension, had she put 20 years in, she let her whole career go to be doing some, some sexting or whatever she was doing with the co-defendant or whatever.
Yeah.
So
we
so
talked
it's
about
like,
that.
to me, Kayla is that woman. There's no real rules. There's no decorum. There's no professionalism. There's no doing things in a classy way to uphold your reputation. She's going in on people on Twitter all the time. So for me, I'm just like, you're just a clown. And also having a psychology background, I see things with her that I'm like, one, she doesn't know a lot of the law like some of the other attorneys.
Dang, Rebecca, she went out again. She must be getting a phone call. Yep, you're back. You're back. We can hear you. Go ahead.
I said she's newer, she's less experienced, and she should just be focusing on growing her career and using this time in the limelight to push forward her personal injury, or if she's going to continue to do defense, be a defense attorney, then push that forward. But what she's doing, it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. Like I saw some people in the comments yesterday saying that after the trial, people are just going to forget about her. Now she's ruined her reputation so much that no one's going to even really care
Yeah,
listen
I
to
don't-
her anymore. People only.
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
don't agree with that. I would have to give you a little bit of pushback on that. I think there is a way for her to do both. But as I mentioned in the past videos, I think with her star rising so fast, it was just it's a tough situation to be in to kind of figure out which way you want to go.
Well, of course she could do both. She could do both,
yeah.
but she's not doing it the right way. She's like, she should be doing it as, I am a lawyer. This is what I'm sharing with you. But instead, she's having a current witness who's on the stand come on there and say the transcripts weren't full.
Yeah, that was the part I had issue with.
That's unprofessional. There's a lot of things that have been unprofessional. So, like, if you want to go hard at me, then I'm just gonna break things down from what I've seen since she entered the
Dang, she went out. She went out again. I mean, and I have to agree. I have to agree with Rebecca on that
The
one.
what?
From a professional standpoint, me personally, again, I'm not an attorney. I just wouldn't. I would just avoid having those type of conversations, especially with someone who's a past client who's involved. Yeah, it's just that didn't sit right with me either. It's
not a good look. It's not a good look. And even Woody, it's not a good look. He should wait. He should have waited till all the end, going on 20 versus 1 and all this stuff, and that going on that long. He should have waited to the end, and really they could monetize it if they're like more mysterious about what they're going to tell and they have a build up. But now it's all watered down because Kayla's gone on 15 different channels and she's not really saying anything new because she was just there for one day.
Yeah,
so,
people want to hear it from the horse's mouth too. I don't have a problem with Lil Woody doing the pre-recorded interviews and videos. I think the thing that made me nervous was the live streams, because like I said, they're human. I don't care how good of a lawyer you are. I mean, you're human, and if you get up there and you start having a conversation about something that might be attorney-client privilege, that was the thing for me. And I was like, it doesn't seem worth it. So if you're gonna do, that type of thing, it seems like it would just be better to, as you're saying, wait. And I think Rebecca dropped off again. She's out the gym getting it in. Shout out to everybody who gets to the gym, man. This is your reminder. Make sure y'all get in the gym. You get one body, you get one life. Make sure you take care of it.
I was telling Mr. Tesla that today I'm just doing the incline walk. So
there you go.
But it's a good little workout. But the last thing that I was gonna say is that the other issues that with the YouTubers, they're not holding her to task. Like when they're not. These are all YouTubers that have said that they're not holding it. So if you really want to have her on your show, actually have some questions and have her answer the questions. Like, what is your relationship with Miss Hilton? Just straight up, just ask her that. Or just ask her questions about what people were saying. So like with some of the other YouTubers, I'm like, I watched your channel and you were saying the exact same thing to me. I mean, excuse me, not to me, to your viewers, saying the same thing as I was saying, but you're kind of like just letting that go and just kind of sucking up to her. I don't agree with that. Like, just if you're gonna have her on your show, just ask her the serious questions. No one has done that yet.
Oh, you're talking about me? Like
no. I'm talking about in general, the YouTubers.
Oh yeah.
If someone has her on the show, they're not holding her accountable. For one, if I had her on the show, which I never would, I would ask her. So in the transcript, I would just straight up ask her, since she's answering, is the transcript complete or not? She could choose not to answer it. Okay. So if she said before that the transcript was complete, and then she had Woody on, and he insinuated it wasn't, right? So I would ask her, so when you guys were in the ex parte meeting, since we've all read the transcript now.
Dang, Rebecca, she starts making good points and then she goes out.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
my phone keeps going out.
Yeah, is someone calling you maybe? Or
okay, yeah, I don't know. I can't see that part, but let me just finish this point and then I'll let you go.
Yeah, you're good.
So I wish someone would ask her, since everyone's saying, oh, she's such a great lawyer. Why in the ex parte meeting wasn't she really saying, hey, Woody, don't say anything. I'm your lawyer. I'll talk to them. They were talking directly to Woody, which in a lot of cases doesn't happen. So two, she should have said, let me talk to him first and see what he wants to do. Because remember, he had pled the fifth. So
Yeah.
why are they back there? And she didn't say anything about, like, is this meeting appropriate without the defense being here? Like, if she knows the law, she should have known all the stuff that was going on in that back door meeting, and she should have said at least something about it. But in transcripts, she doesn't say anything about that.
Yeah, so
Like that the meeting was improper.
yeah, for
So
sure.
that's not, to me, that's not representing her client in the proper way, because Melnick had said that he pled the fifth,
Yeah.
and that he did not want to represent him if he chose to go against that.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, I would give her some grace and say, I don't know if I wouldn't say that it reflects that she's a bad lawyer. I think if you listen to a lot of the other lawyers like Mr. Melnick, if you listen to what Doug Weinstein said, a lot of them said this type of situation for this type of ex parte meeting to happen was just way out of left field. It usually doesn't ever happen. They could foresee anybody being thrown off guard from
but
that.
everybody knew it was wrong, though.
Yeah,
everyone.
that's true. I mean, you're right.
Everyone right away knew it was wrong. So if it's
You're
such
right.
a basic thing that everybody knows it's wrong, why didn't she say that in helping her client out?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, I think the defense should be here. Is it okay that the defense is not here? Like, what is something to that effect? She didn't say any of that.
Yeah. And, and as you mentioned, I think it was a tough situation to be in because of her past relationship with some of the people in the room. So
yes. That's the other thing. So someone in your comments yesterday.
And shout out to y'all in the chat. Let me see. What is, oh man. You need a Sims? I'll read that comment here in a second. Go ahead. Go ahead, Rebecca. You're good.
So lastly, she, in regards to her connections, how are you going to represent, if you're such good friends with Young Thug's sister, that you're the baby's not stepmom, godmom or whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't that mean you have a decent relationship with the Young Thug? You want your best friend's brother to get off? So why would you be representing somebody from the opposite side? That just doesn't even sound right to me.
Yeah,
it
seems like a conflict
they're playing the court. Unless they're playing the court, which that's what I was saying yesterday in your comments, which some people did not like, that I said she could get in trouble. If she's trying to play the court, she could definitely get in trouble for that. Like if she's purposely representing Woody and like doing whatever they're doing to make sure that Young Thug gets off, that's not a good representation. I don't think lawyers are allowed to do that.
Yeah, and I'm not going to hold her accountable for that just because Judge Glanville, ADA Hilton, ADA Love, I mean, they're the ones that called the meeting. So I get what you're saying there. I think when she got into the chambers, she did the best she could other than questioning the court, which is a big deal. I mean, to push back against the all-knowing leader, Judge Glanville, I mean, that's a big deal. So again, I get it. As a professional, she definitely, I think, should have questioned that and brought it up.
And she should have said in the first place, I am best friends with Young Thug's sister. I can't help you here. She should have just said that straight up. I mean, there's simple things
weird.
like.
It's weird. It's a fact. Yeah, I'm with you. So
anyway, that's all I got for you today.
Yeah, no, hey, you had some great insight, and I hope y'all get to a place to where y'all can have a conversation, because I think both of you together can make some great content.
No.
But I'm
not going to be a content maker.
I'm gonna stay out of it. All right, so I'm gonna let y'all handle that. But yeah, if Kayla decides she does want to come up to the channel, I definitely got some good questions for her, and I'll give her some pushback. Because I mean, at the end of the day, she's where she is because she put in the work. So I want to hear it from her side as well. So shout out to you for calling in, though. Rebecca, you can call in anytime. Get your workout in there. And yeah, I look forward to hearing more from you and seeing that video.
Thank you.
All right, I appreciate it. And shout out to ATL gang too. Day. All right, you too. Peace.
Bye.
All right, y'all. Rebecca Starr, Amy dropped her information in the chat. She made some great points. Again, see, people, here's the thing about the comments in that video, and I'm going to have to It's Friday. Maybe we should look at the comments on that video. People, if you point out facts about something, and let me just give a dramatic example, right? If I'm walking down the street and there's somebody next to me, right? And they're on duty and they throw a rock and it crashes through the car's window, right? I'm like, dang, they just threw a rock and it crashed through the window of the car. Why'd you do that? And then I go and I say, I say to somebody, that was unprofessional. I don't know why they did that. They were on duty. They shouldn't have been throwing stuff. That was a bad decision. They could risk their career by throwing that rock through the window. For you to call me a hater because I'm just pointing out something that the person did that was wrong and wasn't a great look and might have been risky. I mean, to me, that just says that you're not a reasonable thinking person. Especially if you can say, hey, I get this person. They're good at their job. They are where they are because of the work they put in and the things they've been able to do. But in this specific situation, it just looks like they missed the mark. We can still say that and still not be considered hating on somebody or, trying to bring somebody down. It is what it is. It was a bad look. I don't think it was the best decision. That's my opinion. And y'all can say what you want to about that. But I always think it's funny, especially when people in some of these comments are saying, oh, you're just hating, and they're not addressing the fact, well, is what I'm saying, I mean, is there something there, or am I just making it up? It's interesting. Anyway, shout out to Unita Sims. Shout out to Miss Sims. I appreciate you stopping by. Unita Sims says, you don't need Bumpus on your show. She's really not saying anything. She needs to focus on her upcoming cases if she has any. Per the transcript, she allowed Hilton to bully Woody. Why? Yeah, again, that's a fact. We go through the transcript, and I gave her credit for when she did interject, especially when they were talking to Woody about the independent evidence that could be brought out against him, when they were telling him, okay, this is what it means when you have immunity. Yeah, we have to do that. We have to hold her accountable. We have to hold Judge Glanville, Judge Love, Judge Hilton accountable. We have to hold Mr. Melnick accountable too, because he put Kayla in this situation. Now, obviously she accepted and she wanted to do him a favor and she just showed up for free. But I mean, this whole thing is just wrong after wrong after wrong after wrong. And it's not great. What else are y'all saying in here? Rose says, I'm confused by this rhetoric. Her allowing the prosecution to dig themselves a hole is the big reason why Glanville isn't on the case now and why they can finally get a fair trial. I agree. Kayla saved the case. That is also a fact. Kayla saved this case. If Kayla hadn't given, well, I don't even know if I could say that, because she's also saying she's not the mole. So she wasn't the person who told them initially. So I guess the transcripts would have came out and then Brian would have found out it eventually. But she really helped the defense out a lot in this case by giving them that information, which, I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, she saved this. She essentially got Glanville up out of there. Now, if y'all want to put on your tinfoil hats and put some of the pieces together, you go ahead. I'm not going to go down that route in this case. Also, Row One Up says perspective is everything. What you deem as wrong can be seen as right from another viewpoint. I really don't get what Kayla did wrong, but I can't say you're a hater. I mean, I've given my opinion on other videos. I'm not necessarily saying that she did. When it comes to being on YouTube, I'm not necessarily saying she did anything wrong. I'm just saying it was awfully risky. And the reason I'm saying it wasn't wrong is because I don't know from a legal standpoint how that's going to impact Little Woody and Kayla moving forward. So I'm just looking at it just like you're looking at it, Ro. I'm saying if I'm a professional and I have a client and I'm talking with my client about an ongoing trial where they're a sworn witness on a live stream on YouTube. It just doesn't seem like it's not the best situation to be in. So that was my biggest issue. I'm not even going into the ex parte meeting. Again, Kayla, I think she did her best, and I think she did at the time with everything that was going on her best to represent Woody. It's just, it didn't turn out that well, and now we're in the situation that we're in now. But it also worked out for the defense in that case because they got Judge Glanville out of there. So, but when it comes to the YouTube side of things, I think that's mainly the thing I focused on with my issues with what happened with Kayla. It just seemed awfully risky. Now, I mean, there's really no conversation, right? Because the videos are down. But then you have to ask yourself, why are they gone? Or you don't have to. All right. I'm going to ask though. But yeah, that was the biggest thing I had, the biggest issue I had. All right. Shout out to Rolling Up for being here too. The fact that she didn't have a problem speaking with the client, with the judge still in the room, I'd have been like, excuse me. Yeah, TLA talked about this as well. TLA said, I've been in Judge Glanville's chambers. Said he knows how the room is built. It's built like a rectangle. It's a really nice office. He said Kayla was in there talking to little Woody while Judge Glanville was sitting at the other end of the room. Not great. Not great. So everything that was off the record while she was talking to him might have been off the record, but I mean, it was still being heard by Judge Glanville because y'all know Miss Hilton was like, hey, y'all got to speak a little bit quieter because the judge might hear you. He's over there. Like, come on, man. It's just, it's just not great, bro. However you look at it, it's not great. But anyway, I wasn't focusing on that. When it came to Kayla, and if you want to say my issue, if you want to call it the issue, the only thing I thought I didn't like and I thought was risky was just them talking about the case while Woody was a sworn witness on a live stream. Because again, people are human, and once you get people talking, y'all know how it is. Things can go left pretty quick. Yeah, shout out to Rolling Up. I appreciate y'all and I like having the conversation too. I don't want to be in the echo chamber. I don't want to just have people here and in the chat and in the comments who agree. I love having dialogue. I love having back and forth conversations. I think the thing that's annoying, and it just is what it is about YouTube, is that, you know, people call you a hater for calling out or for making an observation or disagreeing with somebody. But it doesn't bother me. I knew what it was a long time ago. So we in this now. I do want to go. If y'all want to see some of these comments, y'all could go and watch the full video. I thought some of these comments were interesting since we are on our Kayla trip. And I'm gonna reach out to Kayla and see if she wants to come on the channel. I think it would be dope. Young Step is in here too. I think she will. Wealthy Wisdom is up in here. Oh, the big dogs must be done streaming now. Shout out to Wealthy Wisdom. I saw Wealthy Wisdom over on, was it Kat's live stream? Shout out to Kat Not Williams as well. Y'all go check out Kat Not Williams. She's killing it, growing like crazy, and she's done a good job of covering this case. And I've actually learned a lot from her too. Go check her out. I think I saw, was it Kat's live stream I saw you in this morning, Wealthy Wisdom? Anyway, always good to see you in here. Yeah, it was on Kat. Y'all look at some of these. These are some of the comments that we're hearing. These are some of the comments that we're hearing. Y'all are talking about how shiny I look. Amy said I look shiny and swole. You know what time it is. Mr. Tesla said he be taking showers. Yeah. Wealthy Wisdom said I was on lead and Kayla's on too. You were on Kayla's this morning when I was in there? I didn't see you in there. Yeah, TLA, I can't wait to watch his coverage of this live stream. I'm going to watch it later on today, and we might react to it later depending on what the lead had going on. But y'all go check out the lead attorney as well. Rolling Up says, with the motions the defense are likely to present, do you think the jury will ever come back, or will mistrial be the only proper remedy? The judge hasn't been aware of everything Glanville did. I love how you phrased that question, Rowan Up, because it really takes into account everything that Judge Whitaker is going to have to consider, right? Because you're talking about the jury, you're talking about mistrial, and then the most important point you made was at the end is you said the judge hasn't been aware of everything Glanville did. If she truly doesn't know what's going on, and she finds out about this ex parte meeting and how they got Woody on the stand in the first place. Y'all saw that supplement to motion to recuse, and we reviewed it here that Brian Steele sent in. And I can guarantee you he's going to copy and paste that right on over to his motion for mistrial. So I don't see how we can move forward with everything that's gone on with this trial, especially at the way that evidence has been presented, the way there's been so much discrimination against the defense, the way one of the key witnesses in this case has been treated, has been pressured to testify. I just don't see how you can move forward. Again, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just a regular person who's been reviewing this case and looking at these affidavits and motions, and I don't see how it can move forward. I would be surprised if it did. I said to y'all before, I didn't think Judge Glanville was going to make it through this, and looking at what Brian just filed in this motion, trying to get Love and Hilton out of there, I don't think they're going to make it either. They're going to be gone. There's just no way that they could stay, especially if Judge Rachel Krause was saying, hey, it's just not a great look. It's not a great look if they stay here. I mean, Miss Hilton was meeting with little Woody without his representation. And there's been other things throughout this too. So I don't see how you move forward in this case. I think it has to be a mistrial, and Judge Whitaker is going to look at this, especially seeing as she's so much of a stickler for the rules and for conducting the court appropriately. She's going to look at this and say, this is so I'm not dealing with this. We're done. Yeah, that was a really long answer, but I think that was a great question. Wealthy Wisdom said, yes, I saw you talking to her when she was talking about people telling her you spoke about her. Yeah. She said, what is that about? ClassE, I heard you were talking about me. What is that about? We're going to get her up here. Mr. Tesla said, people going to be like, look at ClassE, think he better than us because he has soap. Hey, I am, man. If you're not using soap, what are you doing? Amy says she acted like ClassE. You talking about me? What's up with that? Yeah, that's exactly what she said. But then thanked him for the tag. She wants all the clout. She loves getting talked about. It's great. I wish somebody would talk about me, man. Get me in the algorithm more. That's what. Yeah, I want to bring her up here because I think she does have a lot to offer to the content creation space in YouTube. I know we're seeing the very, very early stages of Caleb Bumpus on this content creation journey, but I think she has a lot of potential, and I want to see her succeed and do well. I really do. Mixed Shit Samantha says the judge was laughing like, this is a hot ass mess. Absolutely. Amy said Tesla, he has soap, but it's the bougie water he be sipping. Yeah, we on that alkaline. Yeah, we don't have regular water over here. Young Stepper says, still waiting to get my collab with Lil Woody. Ooh. Yeah, Lil Woody said he's not going back to music. He said, I'm not going back because that's going to take him back to a place he doesn't want to be in. Also, we got Unita Sims says, Judge has Demon Love in check. You saw that? She is not putting up with it. Though so far, she has not been that quiet in court ever. She would have dominated Glanville. She would have been up there rolling her eyes, snapping her fingers at Brian. It's going to be fun to watch for sure. But we got to remember, the content creation part is great, but these guys have been sitting in jail, some of them 3+ years. This whole thing has been a mess. They need to get him out of there. Amy said he loves expensive water. Yeah, you know that's right, Amy. Mr. Tesla says, I talked about you to my son. You just don't hear me. Oh, shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. Y'all want to see some of these comments? I wanted to make this actually a segment of the show. Y'all have to let me know if this is something y'all would be interested in seeing. I'm gonna pull up some of the funny comments that we have here. I'm gonna get into. Let me give me 1 second, y'all. I'll be right back, and then we'll get into the comments of these videos. Some of the ones I thought were funny.
Yeah, let's get into it. Hundreds of blessings, they coming my way. 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 Like I got a new perspective. Oh my God. I don't mean to be so reckless, but I know my God's protecting. I talk to him before my set list. Got so many things on my mind, there's so much to forget about. Thank God he's the author of time, I don't stress, it's in him I dwell. The flesh doesn't want it sometimes, so I just gotta push it down. I've been saving
Amy said, can I get a refill?
Feeling like $1 million, baby, you can't talk to me crazy.
All right, here we go. We back at it. Let's read some crazy comments up in here. This is gonna be fun. All right, this is a fun way to end the show. We'll do this for a few minutes and then I'll get y'all out of here. Oh, y'all cannot see the comments because they chopped it off. So we're gonna hover this a little bit. Boom. Yeah. All right. So here's the first one. You sound like a hater, bro. Let me zoom in so all of us can see. And then I said, not at all. I wish her nothing but the best and have stated that several times throughout the video. Just because I'm calling out what I see and may disagree with someone, that doesn't mean I'm a hater. And this person said, big hater trying to find content. Now that's true. I am trying to find content. That's kind of my job. This person said, bro, respectfully, isn't she the one that's actually a lawyer trying to find content out of all of this, as opposed to him who is actually the content creator? Hey, shout out to my guy, Sterling Harris. Sterling Harris had my back. Yeah, Amy stays on my head. You know what time it is. I mean, she literally started a whole YouTube channel on the basis of being a 1 hour substitute. Oh, man. And this person says, I promise I was about to say the same thing. Shout out to, what is that? Willie B. Amen says he's being honest. You don't see lawyers doing what she's doing, do you? Not while actively involved in a case like this. Well, the lawyers, yeah, I don't have a problem. If it was just her, again, and I say problem lightly, I would say I wouldn't think it was so risky in general if she was doing, what some of these other guys are doing. Like Mr. Sharts, I think, did an interview with infamous Sylvia the other night. They're just talking because they're the lawyers. And if you want to put your own self at risk, fine. But when you're talking with someone who is a sworn witness, someone you're close to, it just didn't seem worth it to me. Anyway, this person, I don't want to read. I'm tired of all the shots at Kayla. Some people in here were defending Kayla. Some were taking shots. It is what it is. One thing I love about Kayla is that she's for the people. I don't know her personally, but her actions are speaking very loudly. I'm sure she knows what she's doing. Okay. This person, Kevin, says she isn't a stand-in lawyer. She isn't a stand-in, and lawyer bought into the case. Her unique background as a friend, reserve or close attorney, and former assistant district attorney is very much important and needed for context, purpose of circumstance, and to give a sufficient weight and dimension to and for Woody. Oh, ChatGPT wrote this. And Woody can and have do so him. All right, I picked a bad one. I'm sorry, y'all. They're going to find out that whoever she was concerned about being able to watch her live streams probably downloaded what they already needed from both their channels. Ooh. So yeah, it's too late. Regardless, I was alarmed myself at how comfortable they were talking so much, but I can also tell they were trying to capitalize from the popularity, which I think they should. Just from a personal brand standpoint, I think it's smart. If you're getting this type of spotlight put on you, yeah, capitalize on it. Go get your bag, make your money. I think they'll both be able to evolve and grow through this too. Sounds like the court ordered to me. Ooh. Now, Kayla did tweet at YouTube. I mean, she was going at YouTube on Twitter. And she said, hey, YouTube, why are y'all taking my stuff down? Could that be the case? I don't know. I don't know, because yeah, I'm not gonna get into conspiracies right now, but anyway, FYI, this person says Woody has a manager, publicist now. That is why his page is down. And I heard that too. I think infamous Sylvia said that, but the timing is just interesting. That's all I'm saying. This person says she should definitely stick to law. Her YouTube content is sloppy and unprepared. Give her a break. She's not even a great communicator. I don't see how anyone can listen to her for more than 5 minutes. Hey, listen, man, I'm not the greatest communicator either. All right. So y'all just give her some time. Give her some time. She's been doing this for 2 weeks. All right. But I get it. I get it. A lot of people are impatient. They're used to the high production, high value content creators. It's fine. Just give her a chance. She'll get there. This one was funny. James says, laugh out loud. You and Woody kind of look like each other. Come on, man. Are y'all seeing it? I'm not seeing it, but shout out to Lil Woody. And what did I say to him? I said, call me Big Woody. Know what I'm saying? That is hilarious, though. This person says she's lying. I don't know. I mean, she is innocent until proven guilty. So if she says YouTube took down her videos, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt until we see something else. But I will also point out the circumstantial evidence there. This person says, the internet wins again, shaking my head. Y'all gonna learn. This person says, I cannot find them on other live streams. Yeah, they're out there. This person says, I don't believe that Kayla would lie about her and Woody's channels was being taken down. I do believe that someone doesn't want their channels up. I do believe the powers that be behind the scenes had something to do with it. We are always being watched. And that's true. Amy said, King Kong Woody. Yeah, I like that better. I like that better. Call me Big Woody. I'll take it. All right, we'll read a couple more of y'all's comments in the chat, and then we're going to get up out of here. Amy says, it be in our own best interest sometimes. She said, they're literally talking entirely too much and making exhibits and evidence for the case against them. Sometimes we need to just shut up. Yeah, I know it's tough. It's tough to not want to talk, but I mean, when you're involved in legal proceedings, sometimes you got to shut up. Mixed Chick Samantha says, agreed. Not all water is the same. Know what you're putting in your body. We on that alkaline. What y'all know about that alkaline water? Mr. Tesla says, yeah, you have to filter water at least. No more drinking from the faucet or water hole. Yeah, were y'all ever kids and would drink out of the hose? Those were the good old days. Yeah, we're educating now though. We can't be drinking out of the water hose. Roll one up says Woody's not a witness, man. Was he excused? Lil Woody was excused? Hold on a second. He's not a witness anymore? Oh, suspect. Oh, okay. Who said he was? Did I say he was a suspect? Okay, I was confused. I was like, what? Hold on. No, you're good rolling up. You're good. All right, y'all. We're going to get up out of here. Make sure y'all tune in tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be live right here on the ClassE Beats YouTube channel for another episode of the Song of the Night Live. So if you're an artist, you want to get your music heard, if you're someone who just enjoys music as well, y'all can tap in. It's going to be a good time. We're going to be giving away $100 in a brand new Shure 55SH microphone. We also have 4 door prizes we're giving away too. So if you want to stop by the show, just get a chance to win a door prize, you can do that as well. All right. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all to everybody who stopped by and everyone who liked the video. And if I don't see y'all, I hope you have a great weekend. Make sure you subscribe to the channel too, because as y'all know, we're dropping 2 videos every single day as well. So even on the weekends, I'll have some video content for y'all to check out. And we're going to be back live on Monday and tonight as well. All right. Y'all know what to do. Keep growing, keep pushing, keep it classy. We gone. Peace. Thank y'all, man. I appreciate the support. Oh, I got my screen up there. Lord have mercy.
We're real strong people. We can do anything. We can't be worried about what they say. My brother, my sister, just believe in yourself. Believe in your skin. Believe in your health. Believe in yourself. Believe in your own. Believe in yourself. Believe in your skin. Believe in your health. Believe in yourself. Believe in your tone. Believe in your own. Believe in yourself.
Since everything starts with self, let me hold this mirror up and take a look at myself. Before I judge you, I gotta check myself. And I come to find out that that's good for my health, right? Change your mind and watch the whole body follow. So you won't hear me talking about I'm hitting you with hollows. I can't do it, got plans for tomorrow. And I ain't trying to bring my seeds no type of sorrow. Wait, cause fake rappers do fake-ish. I mean, most the basic get replaced quick. I'll never sacrifice my soul. Truth is, so I might never get 1 million records sold. But that's cool, cause I'm good with the creator. He nurtured my thoughts, so I present you with verbal flavor. You never listen to what no haters say. We pray for them, but we gon' move it this way. We moving forward, y'all.
We can do anything. We can't be worried about what they say. My brother, my sister, just believe in yourself. Believe in your skin. Believe in your health. Believe in yourself. Believe in your tone. Believe in your own. Believe in yourself. Believe in your skin. Believe